So we were saying when we started looking at the beginning of the Mishnah of Taanit that we start mentioning rain. We mention Mashiv Haruach Umrita Gashem, he who makes the wind come back and makes the rain fall, in the blessing of Gevurot, in the second blessing of the Amida. We start doing this at the end of Sukkot. This blessing is Mechaye HaMeitim, it's the resurrection of the dead. So there is something about the rain coming at the end of Sukkot and essentially resurrecting all of the dead plants that have been brown and dried up over the summer period. So the rain, it's a sort of a resurrection feeling. And of course, it's economic disaster if the rain doesn't come, if everything remains dead in the fields. But anyway, at the end of Sukkot, that's halfway through, 3/4 of the way through Tishri, we just begin to mention rain. And then we said that on the 3rd of Cheshvan, we actually request rain. So in the bracha of Mevarech Hashanim, who blesses the years, we actually request tal v'tein tal umatar livracha al pnei adama, give dew and rain as a blessing on the earth. In the land of Israel, rain is a blessing. We complain about it in diaspora, but in the land of Israel, rain is a blessing. So we pray, give rain as a blessing on the earth. That's on the 3rd of Cheshvan. And now the Mishnah will pick up 2 weeks later on the 17th of Cheshvan. So we only leave it 2 weeks. And then the Mishnah explains, Higia Sheva Asar b'me'ar Cheshvan v'lo yardu geshamem hitchilu hayechidim mit anim shalosh ta'aniot. If the 17th of Me'ar Cheshvan comes, that's the 1st of November this year, by the way, just to mark it in terms of our calendar. So 1st of November comes 2 weeks after we started to ask for rain. The 17th came and no rain has fallen. Individuals begin to fast 3 fasts. So we start fasting just 2 weeks after the prayers begin if they don't have an effect. Ochlin v'shotin mishachashecha umutarin b'melacha uvirchitza uv'sicha uvi'ne'ilat hasandal uv'tashmish hamita. They eat and drink after dark. That means that they eat and drink after dark until dawn. So this is not a 24-hour fast. This is just a dawn to dusk fast. They can eat after dark right until dawn, and then they start fasting. So ochlin v'shotin mishachashecha, they eat and drink after dark, and umusarin b'melacha, they're permitted to do work. So the shops are still open, the factories are open, people are going to work, and people can bathe, they can anoint themselves, they can wear shoes, they can have sex. In other words, all of the restrictions of Yom Kippur don't apply. This is just not eating and drinking, and just during the daytime. And the Rambam explains that when the Mishnah says individuals fast, he says these are Talmidei Chachamim. Yechidim hem hatalmidim Chachamim. These are the wise sages. And then he goes on, Ve'elu hataniot sheni v'chamishi v'sheni. And these fast days are Monday, Thursday, and Monday. So when the Mishnah says that individuals begin to fast 3 fasts, this is over essentially 2 weeks. So over 2 weeks, we fast on a Monday, and then on Thursday, and then on a Monday again. So we don't fast for 3, well, we know we can't fast for 3 days in a row, but that's essentially how it works. And even today, we know that Tachanun additional prayers are said on Mondays and Thursdays. And we learned in the Mishnah and Megillah that Mondays and Thursdays are market days, they're court days, they're days when people come into town, they're days when we read the Torah. Somehow Mondays and Thursdays are different. So we do that for 2 weeks. Okay, let's now let 2 weeks pass, Higia Rosh Chodesh Kislev. So the 17th of Mar Cheshvan, the individual started to fast. Now we're going to get to the end of the month. 2 weeks later, Rosh Chodesh Kislev. Higia Rosh Chodesh Kislev velo yardu gshamim Beit Din gozrin shalosh ta'aniot al hatzibur. If Rosh Chodesh Kislev arrives and no rain has fallen, the Beit Din, the court, decrees 3 fasts on the community. So now everyone has to fast. Ochlin v'shotim mish, and these are the same routine. Ochlin v'shotim mishachashecha. They eat and drink after dark. That is, they can eat and drink until dawn. Umusarin bimlacha uritza uv'sicha uv'niat hasandal utashmish hamita. So they can eat and drink after dark, and we can do work, and we can bathe, and we can anoint ourselves with oil and wear shoes and have sex. So these are still pretty lightweight. But everyone has to do them. Everyone has to do them. There's no getting away from these. And so the 3 fasts, similarly, are going to be on a Monday, a Thursday, and a Monday. So that's 2 weeks. So now we're halfway through Kislev. So now we're pretty much up to today's date. And by the way, in Israel, by this time, I mean, a lot of rain has fallen in Israel this year, actually. It's been pouring and pouring and pouring in Israel. But there are years when no rain arrives at this point. So what happens? What happens? Avru elu velo na'anu. These passed and they were not answered. Beit Din gozrin shalosh ta'aniot acharot al hatzibur. These are passed and they're not answered. The court decrees another 3 fasts on the community. And these start to get a little bit stricter. Ochlin v'shotin mibod yom. They have to eat and drink while it's still day. This means the day before the fast. So these are now 24-hour fasts. Yeah, they're fasting from the evening to the evening. They only drink the day before. Va'asurin bimlacha uvrchitza v'sicha v'niat hasandal v'tashmish hamita v'noalim et hamer chatzaot. So they we're only going to drink and eat while it's still day, and there's no work, no bathing, you can't anoint with oil, no shoes, no sex, and the bathhouses are shut. So this really starts to just get a bit more serious here. Avru elu velo na'anu. If these passed and they're not answered, this is another 2 weeks, basically, another Monday, Thursday, Monday. Avru elu velo na'anu beit din gozrin alehen od sheva. If these passed and they're not answered, the court decrees on the community a further 7, making 13 public fasts, essentially over each set of 3 is 2 weeks. So a further 7 is going to be another 5 weeks. Hare elu yeterot al harishonot. These are more than the first ones. Sheba elu matri'in. Because on these they blow the shofar. Do you remember the first verse that we read from Bamidbar, from Numbers, was about blowing the trumpet? When a calamity comes to the community, we blow the trumpets. So now we're going to blow the shofar. So, Sheba elu matrin v'noalin et hachaniot, and we're going to shut the shops now. And then, well, maybe we're not going to shut them entirely. Basheni matin im chashecha. On Mondays, we're going to open them when it gets dark, because people still need to buy food for Monday night or for Tuesday, right? They're fasting all Monday, but they need to eat that evening. So we're going to open them towards the end of Monday. And on Thursday, we're going to keep the shops open, actually, because of the honor of Shabbat. And it's very interesting, and maybe there are parallels actually to the current situation. And we debate, the extent to which we should stop, our normal activities because of the current situation. But this Mishnah is saying, look, we're going to fast on a Monday and a Thursday, but we still honor Shabbat. So the shops are open on Thursday because we still need to honor Shabbat, even though a disaster is coming upon the community and we are fasting for that reason.